Well, it was only a week or so ago I was reviewing this splendid package by Arian, which is the 20th anniversary of his third album from 1978, Into the Electric Castle. And you know, this kind of package here is it's all very good and well, but like today I'm here to show you another package that got released a week ago now, well, just over a week to be precise. And but with these kind of packages here, as you can see, when you go to store them, they're not exactly that ideal, and to actually put them in something like this, it's going to take up the space of 60 CDs, and even if you try and put it that way around, you can perfectly see that it sticks out a mile, and it's obviously, for something like that, I'm going to have to buy other units to store it in. But anyway, as I say, I'm not here to talk about Arian today, but I am here to talk about this rather new splendid package, which has arrived on the 9th of November, the date of its release. And this is the latest book edition of Jethro Tull's debut album from 1968, This Was. And it's actually the 50th anniversary. I mean, 50 years, you know, it's absolutely unbelievable, you know, for any artist to be going that long, and it's quite an achievement. And the thing is with these packages, I mean, they are so easy to store as well. I mean, because basically you've got an hardbound book that come the same size of a DVD. So you can simply slot it in like that, and there you can see, you know, no problem to store, doesn't take up that much space. But like with all these editions, what's good about them is that they do come with a book. And I've got to say, these books are absolutely splendid, and this one actually comes with a 98-page book. Besides all the discs, in this one you actually get 4. Which is, there you can see there the actual first 2 CDs. You do get 3 CDs and 1 DVD, by the way, in this collection. And at the back we have the 3rd CD and the DVD with the surround mix on. And as I say, like, I mean, with the book and that, what you get, these books are absolutely really superb, and they give you all the detailed information basically from the time when the album was made, and everything they was doing around that time, you know, from the time when they was in the John Evan band, and up until they became the 4-piece band what they was, which made this album. And you know, all the background behind the studios at Sound Techniques, and it was actually Victor Gunn who actually was the engineer at Sound Techniques, who was behind this album. And that was the studio what was set up by John Wood and Jeff Frost way back in the 60s, and a lot of music came from that particular studio as well, such as bands like Fairport Convention, absolutely loads of Cat Stevens, many artists, even Pink Floyd recorded their first 2 records in there, which was Arnold Layne and See Emily Play. So it's got a lot of history, that place has, and as I say, this book itself contains a lot of history. And it really does. I mean, it even goes on to about the well, the actual the Jethro Tull incident, which was on the Sunshine Day, which was a single with Aeroplane on the B-side, but actually this single, by the way, was never officially released, and it was only a few copies, you know, that got out, and that's why it's so rare. But officially it was never a Jethro Tull single. But you've got, as I say, it goes on about that, and you've also got an interesting article by the A View from the Clouds, which is basically the band who was playing at the Marquee. It used to be called 123, and Scottish band it was, and it was Ian Ellis, the manager of and agent of Jethro Tull at the time, who made them change the name to the Clouds. But actually, it's also very interesting because according to form, the Clouds reckon they was the first band who introduced or played made prog rock, and to be honest, I mean, I have heard some of their music, and you know, I'm not that sure that that is the case, but like anyway, I mean, it does go on about that, and also about how they could have been where Jethro Tull are, because it was, after all, it was Ian Anderson who sort of twisted Terry Ellis's arm to put more of a persuasion and direction to aim at his band Jethro Tull rather than the Clouds, and so it's all fascinating stuff, you know. And like I say, I mean, with these, you get lots of stuff included, and on here we got new mixes from Stephen Wilson, and I have to say, these new mixes, in my opinion, are absolutely outstanding. In my opinion, they way outstrip the original recordings. And to be honest, I mean, although back in 1968, this album was, they was looking for the cheap studio to actually do the album, because the budget was tight. And at Sound Techniques at the time, they only had a 4-track recorder. So the album was only ever recorded on 4 tracks. And Stephen Wilson has actually divided some of those tracks up where they can, and separate like the vocals and the flute where they're not playing at the same time. And he's actually done a 4.1 mix of the album, and I've got to say, I'm absolutely impressed by it. But not only that, the stereo mixes, they're just so, it's the best I've ever heard. It really brings this album back to life. And I suppose with this album, you know, a lot of people would say that this was Jethro Tull. And when you look at, say, the next album which came out, which is, if I just put that down a bit, which is where Jethro Tull sort of stood up with the next album, Stand Up, they would say that this is Jethro Tull. But I think there's a fine line between the both of them, and to be honest, because like, okay, you could say that this had more of a blues thing going on about it, to which it does, but it also contains those other elements, those jazz elements, and even classical influences, which were fused into their second album, and the stuff on here which even sounds like it would have fitted on to Stand Up, you know. So this is like not a bad album at all, and to be honest, I quite like this album. It's another great album, and Clive Bonker, the drummer they had, absolutely outstanding. To me, he's always been, for me, the best drummer Jethro Tull ever had, by far. And like, these packages, as I say, look, they come out every now and again, and I'm still waiting for him to do actually Benefit, which I only have the collector's edition at the moment, and I've got to say, it looks absolutely, well, it just looks terrible with all these other editions I have. And these retail about £35, but if you order them, pre-order them, I should say, on Amazon, when you know that before they come out, like when you know first hear about them, you do get them slightly cheaper, and I did get this one for just over £30 in the end by pre-ordering it. And to be honest, a lot of these, I think 3 of these, actually from the first one that came out, which is thick as a brick, they was all pre-ordered on Amazon, and this one only cost me £14. The same would be so for, I'm pretty sure, Yes War Child would have been cost me £14. And I even got this one here for £14, which is too old to rock and roll and too young to die. Well, as I say, the only one that cost me this much is actually the last one I bought, Heavy Horses. And even though like Songs from the Wood was priced about £30 odd when it was released, I actually got this for under £20 by pre-ordering it. So as I say, it does pay to pre-order well beforehand to get these kind of things. And to be honest, I mean, they don't, when these are gone, I'm not sure they're going to reissue them again. And well, they certainly haven't with the other ones, and you're going to be paying, you know, stupid money to get your hands on them. So like, you know, and a package like this, it's really great. I mean, you can't go wrong. As I say, like you're getting like 4 discs, a 98 page book, which is absolutely rammed with information about the time, and it's just totally well worth the money. You cannot knock it at all. So anyway, that is This Was, I've been talking about This Was by Jethro Tull, and what a splendid package it really is. As I say, it fits nicely away, and also I shall be doing a full review of this album, and so you can check that out if you like, and it goes a lot more into the actual package and what you're getting in here. You know, all the bonus tracks while they're on the discs, and well, it basically gives you a full in-depth review I've given of the album, and you can see that by clicking on my link, what I've provided in the description here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and for now, I'll best be off.